We will start our recording now. Alright, so to reiterate what we went through last week. Alright, on the board is the applications of 3D modeling assignment. Alright, you have to create an article or online 3D e-zine, alright, which could be done in as many ways as you want to, just not PowerPoint, since it's better than. And you must use 3D. You must talk about the applications and use of 3D models within interactive media and computer-gated products. The article must cover applications of 3D, displaying 3D polygons, animations, geometric theory, mesh construction, 3D development software, and constraints. But Max, what are the applications of 3D? Well, let's go through that today. I heard a groan at the back. That's absolutely fantastic. You will, however, if it loads properly, there we go, we will get subtitles. It's even better.
You see it.
So when you watch this back, you will see all the hilarious things that this machine will think I'm saying when I'm not actually saying them. All right. So our objectives today are to identify applications of 3D, to describe the use of 3D within video games, and to explain how 3D can be used across multiple disciplines. All right. So the first thing, what is 3D? Big time, please. What is 3D? Anyone want to hazard a guess what 3D could be?
So you can see in 3 dimensions.
3 dimensions. All right. What are the 3 dimensions? All right.
X, Y, and Z.
X, Y, and Z. All right. Also known as length, depth, and breadth. All right. Or height, height, wide, and how deep it is. Length, depth, and breadth. Easiest way to describe it. All right. The idea of this is that 3D is a more refined and close to real life version of our, world than 2D is. 2D is only viewable on a 2D plane. You can only see X and Y or height and width. Whereas adding depth to a scene makes it seem more realistic. Has anyone in here seen a 3D film? All right, a film in 3D, not an actual 3D animated film. All right. Was there a big difference between watching the 2D version and the 3D version? Did anyone's eyes hurt? And that? Anyone's brain hurt? Yeah. All right. When we see something that is designed to be in 2D and then we see it in 3D on a 2D surface, it can kind of mess with our eyes because we're used to perceiving something as a flat image on a screen. But how is it that we can use 3D in video games and it doesn't have that effect on us? Whereas if we watch it in films, it does. This is one of the things that we'll be finding out as we go through this module. So, what do I mean by applications of 3D? Well, I don't mean software. All right? The worst thing that you could ever think of. Someone says, well, what's an application of 3D? What is an application of this? What's an application of that? It's not the software. Remember, a time before apps on phones were a thing, everything was called software. All right, we called them applications on PCs. Well, that was roughly about as far as it went. All right, applications of something is how we can use or apply that object or thing, in this case 3D, within the real world. All right, so does someone want to just give me a random application of 3D that we could use? No? Sam?
I don't know, like 3D holograms.
3D holograms? Yeah, so like we could use them for lights, creating 3D lights. But how about I just shift this all over to you as an opening task? All right, you've got 20 minutes. What I want you guys to do is find as many applications of 3D and write them down. You must you add some form of description surrounding that application. You cannot use anything from a Blogspot website. Alright, you must use an official source. Alright, Wikipedia is technically an official source, however, I recommend not using that. Alright, you must find a minimum of 5. Alright, but remember, add some form of description. Alright, so describe that use. You must find a minimum of 5, you've got 20 minutes. Alright, and then you're going to feed them back to the class. Alright, any questions regarding this task? No? Alright, you've got 20 minutes, crack on. Again. All right. So, there we are. Can someone give me an application of 3D that they found? Go for it.
Architecture, when you're building a building, they have like a 3D model of what they're building.
Okay, so for architecture, building a 3D building. So, why would that be a good application of 3D?
Saves resources.
Pardon?
Saves resources are actually longer than execute.
Saves resources. Why else?
It shows them what the building's going to look like when they're done.
It shows what the building's going to look like when it's done. The finished piece. See you.
Make sure it's safe enough for it to act on the building.
Make sure it's safe enough. Alright? Who's tried building a house of cards? Alright? How often does it fall down? A lot, and it doesn't. So there's a 50-50 chance. According to that. Alright? Would it be cost effective for you to go, I'm going to make a building, it's going to be great. Alright, you're going to build a new building in London, and they're like, oh, awesome, what's it going to look like? You go, a giant mirrored cigar. Someone's just going to go, you're off your nut, mate. That's not going to look good. Suddenly they did a simulation of it, they then built it, and they were like, that's actually pretty good, we like that. And then they actually built the building. Alright? It gives people or investors an idea of what that is going to look like. Someone give me another application 3D. Go for it.
Doctors use ultrasounds and MRIs.
Doctors use ultrasounds and MRIs. Alright, so what is an ultrasound?
Something that like shoots a bunch of sound into you, they can press through an image, for example.
Yeah, so essentially sends a bunch of sound waves through soft tissue and it reverberates that back into a three-dimensional image. Alright? However, it's still only obviously produced on a 2D setting. We don't really see it in 2D. There's not much depth. It's essentially just a grayscale. Alright? However, you can use it to say, for instance, build the circle of Willis in your head, which is a lovely little patch of veins in your brain, which is very, very careful. You've got to be careful about the strokes in that area. You can actually build the brain and allow people to see which areas light up and don't through the use of MRIs or CAT scans and things like that. So there are tons of uses of it in the medical field. What other ones are there? Yes?
Virtual reality.
Virtual reality. Please explain what virtual reality is.
Virtual reality is a separate world in a way. And then, I don't know.
Okay.
Reality virtual.
It's reality, but virtual. Alright. So, VR is an interesting part because it's like more of a way in which we interact with our applications of 3D and that. So it's more of a control method and that. But what could VR extend from? Video games. Alright, so the big one, video games. So, what are the applications of 3D in video games?
To make 3D models to make games more immersive.
To make 3D models, not necessarily to make games more immersive, but definitely prefer 3D worlds.
You can explore in a 3D environment.
You can explore in a 3D environment. Who in here has never played a 3D game? Not you. Alright. Who in here prefers 2D games to 3D games? One person. Alright, so the vast majority of you prefer 3D games. Why?
More realistic.
Eh?
More realistic.
That?
More realistic.
More realistic.
And you feel like you're in character.
You feel like you're the character?
With potential of different features to the
Is
This is like more like the world inside the game could be more bigger than it could if it wasn't 3D.
yeah. So there's the ability for a much grander scale. Alright, because you're not essentially just moving from one side of the screen to the other, you essentially have an infinite possibility. You can go forwards essentially rather than just left and right. Alright? Video games are definitely at the forefront of this, of 3D technology. What other thing? Give me one more application of 3D. Movies. Alright. So why are movies important in the applications of 3D?
It allows people to feel like more engaged with the movies, like see it in
Yeah? Alright. Has anyone here seen an animated film recently? Yeah, what did you see? Up. Alright, who in here has seen Up? Alright? Who in here has seen Love Actually? Alright. Which film's better, Up or Love Actually? Hands up for who thinks Up is better. Alright, hands up for people that think Love Actually is better. No one. Why is Up better? Because it's not realistic, it's not real people. It's got Kevin in it. Alright. Well, why is an animated film better than a film with real people in it?
Do more than that.
You can do more with animations. True. And that you can stretch the believability, you can make things more exaggerated. If you wanted, has anyone seen, what's it called? It's gone from mind. The new Beauty and the Beast. Yep. Alright. The original is all 2D cartoon. Alright. The new one has superimposed 3D graphics in there, but it still feels fantastical, but not as fantastical as 2D. If something is purely animated, so for instance like Up, we can stretch the RAM to believe, and it makes it feel much more stylized. We've got a whole new world in there. It's built specifically for us, rather than working around it now and that. So one of the applications of that is it feels nicer. All right. So something you missed: 3D printing. 3D printing is absolutely fantastic. We use it for the construction of objects using a variety of filaments. All right. We have a 3D printer that is the bane of my life. And I've been trying to build it. Well, I built it. It just won't work for me. It can be used to physically manifest an idea or a product. All right. So, for instance, let's take a phone. All right. Every time they come up with a new concept of a phone, if they go, well, how's this going to work in someone's hand? We need to feel it. Is it going to be? How heavy is it going to be? You can't necessarily do that with just an image. So, being able to print that out at that specific density, those dimensions, and give it to someone, and go, this is roughly how it's going to feel. Someone will go, I quite enjoy this. All right. There has been an upsurge in 3D and resin printers. Resin is a type of material that's used for 3D printers and plastic molds, and they are responsible for one of the largest upcoming and expanding markets for miniature war games, such as Warhammer, wargaming and tabletop RPGs. Anyone in here play Warhammer or D&D?
I don't play it, but I got the models about it.
Alright, yeah. Okay. Little guys, like this big. Alright, get 10 of them, like 20 quid. Imagine selling like over 1,000 of those. Suddenly, you're making a lot of money. All right? You can print all of these out at home as well. All right? If anyone owns a 3D printer, you can literally go to like Thingiverse and just type up something you think might exist. All right? For instance, you could do like Donald Trump's head. There's probably an image of bust of it. Like that. You can download it and print it out. Right? Suddenly, you could then spray paint it. You could paint it yourself using different types of acrylics, and you've got your own personal bust. That may not have cost a lot of money to print out. Right? What else could we use 3D printing for if we combined it with the medical field? Go for it.
You say like templates.
Templates, such as?
Like, I don't know, just like templates of objects. See like what the object would look like. You could actually like create it in the style of what you design. And like if you like print it off, you like you can like alternate the design of it so it make it look better.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can build it up. Yes. Prosthetics. They all seen that they have managed to 3D print prosthetics, so you can get people with like Iron Man hands now, which is quite cool. What else?
Which I've seen on some 3D printing channels that they're working on 3D printing organs.
Yeah, 3D printing organs. So rather than using necessarily filaments, using actual organic materials to print an organ, which is huge, absolutely huge. All right. Anyone know anyone in here that's diabetic? Yeah. All right. Now imagine, at the moment, having type 1 diabetes is very much you're going to have to inject insulin every day and monitor your own blood. Imagine being diagnosed with diabetes and go, don't worry, we'll print you a new one out. We'll print you a new pancreas, you don't need to worry about it, just pop it in, boop, done. This is ever growing. This is the largest, rapidly expanding part of our world for 3D. The 3D printed bridges, right? You can now get pens that just draw in 3D, which is incredible.
I still need to wait for them to cool off.
Oh yeah, you still need to wait for it to cool, yeah. But who in here has broken a bone? All right, and you've had a cast. Worst thing is, it's sweaty, it's itchy, and it smells. And also, you can't really move it. It's just this block of plaster. All right, you can now get 3D printed casts, which are breathable, structurally intense, and you can still move and adjust your arm or your leg, things like that. So it allows us to keep living our lives essentially. So 3D printing is huge. Media, TV and film. So I included TV and film together purely because they're roughly the same. Alright, so we use it for creating visual animated content for kids or adults, such as Avengers, Star Wars, Harry Potter and Avatar. They're your big hitters. Alright, you can use 3D for just visual effects. Alright, so obviously if you've seen, say, Age of Ultron for the Avengers, the Hulk and the Hulkbuster don't actually exist. Alright, they just made them in Cinema 4D and went, have at it, let's animate it. Alright, and then they put it in post. Alright, because we use so much of it in TV and film, it allows us to create scenes and movies that we've never actually thought possible. For instance, all the space films. We don't go into space anymore. We don't film stuff in space. You know what would happen if you actually filmed something in space? Black aliens.
Costs a lot of money.
There was a comma in there, by the way. But you wouldn't hear anything. So, has anybody seen The Last Jedi? Alright? The bit where they used the hyperdrive on the ship to basically just obliterate half the fleet, which was a fantastic scene. Alright? It goes incredibly silent. Like you don't hear anything. You just see a flash of light and then the scene happens. And that was incredible because that's how you would see something happen in space. You wouldn't be stood on a ship and you just hear lasers going pew, 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 outside. That's not how it works. But because we don't actually have to go into space, we just put all those sounds in. And it makes it look better. And that, we can't have things like Harry Potter, obviously we don't have giant walking stone men, and that building them out of actual materials is quite a lot of effort. We could just sculpt it in 3D, rig it up, bam bam shabba, you've got it. Alright? But it's not just major TV and film productions anymore, it used to be. With the accessibility of 3D software such as Blender and Maya, and that you're now seeing this on YouTube. Does anyone in here have younger brothers or sisters, or nieces or nephews, or anything like that? Alright. Has anyone seen, well obviously you'll know of Peppa Pig, which obviously is just 2D, but things like Spookies, there's this weird one that my niece watches with two very creepy looking children. But all of this smaller animated content you can find on YouTube it's incredible. And that easily just pumped out, planned out, and it keeps them entertained for hours because of all the nice little songs and dances. So you've got entertainment for even younger kids rather than just for you, me, and anyone else that exists. So, we went through a little bit about architectural visualization, but there is a little bit more to it. So other than just allowing people to visualize a building or living space before spending a lot of physical materials and labour to build it, I'm going to hazard a guess no one here has built a house.
I've helped build a garage.
You've built a house?
I live in the country.
Eh?
I live in the country.
So you've built a full house?
Not a full house, but I helped build it.
You've built a house. Long process, right?
Right.
Yeah. Alright. In fact, how many people in here have done anything physically intensive in terms of building and labour? Yeah. Roughly like 30% here. Alright? If you've ever tried to do anything DIY related involving removing of like house related activities, it's intense. Alright? But always do it, it's fun. Alright? So, say for instance you've got your house and you want to put a wall on that and make it look real nice. Rather than just knocking the wall through and going, you know what, I don't like that. You might as well just build it in 3D, remove the wall and go, that's not too bad. You could then use VR to see what it would look like in your proportion. Alright? You could also use architectural visualization for creating faithful renditions of old restored times and images for historians to use within museums. Alright, so what did the White House look like when it was decorated, when it was first built? Here's some pictures, let's rebuild it. Alright, how do we know what medieval London looked like? We've got some images of it, let's build it and see what it looks like. Right? The idea is that we can use it to explore parts of our history, but also visions of the future, essentially. Alright? However, with architectural visualization, they both use the Unreal and Unity engine, especially if you want to put things in and out. Has anyone thought about rearranging their kitchen? Or getting a new kitchen? If you take pictures of your kitchen, you want to get a new kitchen, what they'll do is they'll go, great, we've got your photos now, we'll build your kitchen, and then they'll swap things in and out for you, so you can see what it would look like in that area. Go for it.
Kind of like in France, they use like Assassin's Creed to like try and rebuild it to like people.
Yeah. Exactly. So in fact, Ubisoft are the best for this. So Ubisoft, you try and historically recreate certain things as accurately as possible. And that, in fact, if you go and play Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed 2, they faithfully recreated, the Michelangelo with absolute perfection. And that, in fact, if you go and play Origins or Odyssey, they've got their educational modes, which allow you to go around faithful renditions of real life places. And so video games can work with architectural visualization as well. So that's a lot of information right there. All right. This next one. Anyone know what that is? An RC car. Go for it.
What do you use to build car adverts?
What they use to film car adverts. Do you know what it's called?
No.
The fake car. Now this is the Blackbird. Alright? This is every single car you have ever seen in a car advert over the past 10 years, something like that. Right? Everything is this little guy. Alright? It has adjustable wheels, adjustable height, adjustable speeds, and it's motion capture. And basically what they do is they'll film around it, film the car doing the stop, and then what they'll do is they'll impose it on a background of a city that's disturbingly quiet in the middle of the day. Alright? And all they do is put a car over the top of it, and render it, and it looks lovely. And then they just like mask a guy into the stereotypical 50-year-old American guy going through a midlife crisis. And now it's like, I've just spent all my life savings on this. As he drives away from all of his problems. Now, this is incredibly cost effective. Does anyone know why? Go for it. It's cheaper than a real car, yeah. Let's say someone give me a new car. Is anyone in here interested in cars? Ah, awesome. Right, give me a car that's coming out, please. Oh, there we go. All right, does anyone in here know the make of any car? Go for it.
Volvo.
A Volvo. Even better. The Volkswagen Golf. Beautiful car. That. So imagine driving down the street in Volkswagen Golf, car in front of you, filming you. You're just there, trying not to break character, and don't let the pain show. And sort of you drive along like that, car smashes straight to the side. They didn't see that you were filming an advert. Very expensive, car written off, gone. All right, film this in the middle of nowhere. All right, superimposed in the city. Really well on the Golf. That's to win. Suddenly, it's 100% safe. But you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about a car getting smashed. You don't have to worry if the prototype's not ready. And that you can essentially get it all ready to go about 2 months prior to it, and just go, look, here's a car. You can put it in crazy situations like weather or lava.
That putting in so expensive, that.
Oh yeah, it's still expensive, very expensive. But it does everything. Alright. Top Gear did an expose on this a couple of years ago, about 2-3 years ago. Alright, absolutely incredible. And that. But we are lied to a lot with 3D. Alright, has anyone bought jewellery online? Alright, from a reputable, like Pandora or anything like that? Yeah, jewellery. No jewellery online is real. Unless it's taken by a person. Alright, like on eBay. Alright, if you look at it on a website, like one of the jewellery places in town, the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Pandora. Alright, none of that is real. All of it is 3D. Alright, all of those adverts are 3D. Alright, think about the amount of times that you see adverts as you scroll down Facebook that are all ridiculously, uncomfortably 3D.
And ridiculously priced.
I'm ridiculously overpriced. Alright, all the computers that you see in adverts, none of them are real. Alright, it's all 3D because it's cheaper than getting the actual thing built, bought, and there. Alright? It could take you, what? The packaging, delivery, putting it all together, getting it all set up ready for boot, could take you a couple of days. And then that's that one computer build. But if you build just the chassis and just turn it away so people can't see, put a couple of lights in there, turn it on in 3D, suddenly you've got a computer that could be 15 other computers. Much more cost effective. Alright? And that's the thing with adverts. So we can use that and save a lot of money. All right, for your final task for me today. All right, what I want you to do is create a document on your OneDrive called Applications in 3D. Some of you may have already done this. All right, I don't mind if you guys are doing a video of this or anything like that. However, I still want you to do this task because if it doesn't work, you can fall back on it. All right? You need to create the following subheadings: Applications of 3D, displaying 3D polygons, geometric theory, mesh construction, 3D development software, and constraints. What I want you to do is I want you to place your work from this morning into the application 3D section. And I want you to begin to reformat it into a section explaining the uses and applications of 3D. Okay, so you've got some examples. Now I need you to structure it. All right, into like a paragraph, something useful. All right. A good thing you could do is what we've done today in discussion is link it to other applications as well. So look at how 3D works with medical. Look at how video games work with architecture. All right. Examples in your work are key. All right. Justification. All right. That's what your examples are. All right. What I want you to do is I want you to write roughly 300 words on that. All right. I'd say between 200 and 300 words. And your extension is I want you to begin looking at the difference between pre-rendered and real-time rendered scenes. All right, that's an extension. All right, we will be going through part of this each week. All right, so next week we are looking at geometric theory. All right, and if mine is done, I will shove it in with that because it works. And mesh construction. All right. Remember, this is your fallback piece of work if you decide to do something else with it. If you want to do a PowerPoint, you're obsessed with doing a PowerPoint, you must do a PowerPoint because that's your life. All right. Make it interesting. All right. Or at least present it to me. Because we will be doing more presentations as we go through. All right. Well, that's what you've got to do. I will give you half an hour on this. Which will take it to 3:45. Then we'll take a break. And then we'll go till 4:30 and go again. Any questions? No? All right, please crack on.